Hello and welcome to this Paramount Plants video on the top 5 gardening terms you need to know when buying a tree. There are lots of words used in horticulture which most people don't know, and today I'm going to explain to you the top 5 that we get asked about the most. We're going to look at rootball, standard, girth, trunk height and pleached. Let's get started. Our first term is rootball. The word rootball is quite literal. The roots are in a ball, as you can see here. These plants are grown in the ground and then carefully lifted and their roots wrapped in this Hessian sac. When the plant arrives with you, you can plant it just like this. The Hessian sac will biodegrade in the ground and allow the roots to expand. You shouldn't remove the sac before planting, as the weight of the earth will pull and tear the roots without it. Larger plants will have larger root balls, and some of them will have wire wrapped around the outside. You shouldn't remove the wire for that same reason. The wire will rust away in the ground and allow the roots to grow. They're often cheaper than potted plants because they can be grown very easily and in larger numbers. The downside being they usually need to be shipped in the colder months of the year, as the plants need to be dormant before being transported like this. However, a larger root ball will be more resilient to the heat, so some of our trees are shipped as root balls all year round, even in summer. Our next word is standard. When referring to a tree, a standard means that it's got a clear single stem with foliage on top. There are full standards, half standards, and quarter standards. A full standard has a stem of about 6 foot or slightly more. I'm just under 6 foot, so if I stand on this pot, you'll see it's roughly my height. A half standard has a smaller trunk of about 3 to 4 foot and a quarter standard about 1 to 2 foot. Which one you get depends on what you'd like to use them for. Full standards are great for screening over full-size fence panels, half standards for a smaller fence, maybe in a front garden, and quarter standards are usually purely decorative, made out of species like buxus and bay, great for topiary. The third term on our list is girth. Girth refers to the distance around the outside of the trunk, or the circumference. It's not, as it's sometimes mistaken for, the diameter of the trunk, or the width. On a full standard tree, girth is always measured 1 metre from the soil level. It's important because it gives the best indication of the age of the tree, better than height, pot size, or anything else. We sometimes get asked, you've got 2 trees on your website, they're the same height, but different prices. Why is that? The answer is almost always girth. A larger girth means the plant is going to be bigger, stronger, and make a better instant impact in your garden. Our fourth term might not seem like it needs explaining. Trunk height, as you've probably guessed, is the distance from the soil to the first branch. The reason this is worth mentioning is the trunk height on trees will not change. This is important to consider if you're buying a tree for screening. If the height of whatever you're screening over and the trunk height are the same, the foliage will always sit neatly on top of it, meaning you don't have to worry about it growing up and leaving a big gap. As an aside, if you're buying a plant based on overall height, be careful. We always list our heights from the soil level to the top of the plant, but some other retailers might include the height of the pot as well. And finally, for today's video, we have pleached. A pleached tree is a full or half standard that's had its foliage trained onto a 2-dimensional frame, like this one. The technique originated in the formal gardens of Renaissance France, where it produces a beautiful, uniform green screen. However, it has found a brilliant practical use. In a small garden, you can still have tall screening trees without worrying about the branches extending into your precious space. Just a few of these in a garden in the middle of a city can make it feel like a private retreat. Pleached trees are designed to be trimmed to be no more than about 20 centimetres off the frame, so if you want your tree to grow much taller, you should get a full standard. That said, we have pleached trees up to 5 metres tall on our website. And that's our top 5 terms explained. Now you can make the most out of your garden armed with this specialist knowledge of horticulture terms. Make sure to check out our other videos for more gardening tips and info. You can see those videos as well as our full range of plants and trees on our website paramountplants.co.uk.
If you've still got questions about gardening terms, email our team on salesteam@paramountplants.co.uk. Subscribe to our channel to see more information about how to get the most out of your garden.